Hello, and welcome back to Glam and J. I am making my vlog today, and the title is, or the topic I should state, is anxiety. And it's a touchy title for me, or subject. is I don't like labels. I've always never liked labels. Negative labels, I should state. I've always had the saying, labels belong on jars, not on people. But when someone says you're beautiful or you're amazing, you're labeling them or you're telling them who they are. It's like the opposite end is stating, well, you're worthless, or you are not worth anything, or you're stupid, or those are labels that I mean by that. The negative labels don't need to be needed. Growing up, I had dealt with a lot of anxiety, and that's probably with wanting to be accepted for who I was, and knowing that I wasn't in the popular crowd, or I wasn't accepted, or I had to hide my true identity, who I am, and the fears that I deal with. I didn't realize I had anxiety until really doing a lot of research on it. I didn't realize that I've been fighting this battle for 40 plus years. And I guess when it started is seeing my parents divorce. And I'm not blaming anybody, I'm not pointing a finger. I'm trying to find reasonings, what I had done or what situation had triggered those emotions or that fear and that worrying. I've always been called a warrior wart. And on my face I have this indentation here, and people know when I am stressed or I'm in pain, or that really comes out, and it's coming out more and more here recently, and that is just because of pain and dealing with it, trying to be positive, trying to find a release for someone or something to help me with, if that makes sense. I had read the definition of anxiety, and that is more or less dealing with the fear of the unknown, or a situation, or being accepted, not able to control a situation. That's a big one. And that is me. Back, I can remember when I was with my children and making sure I was a good mom, making sure that I'm doing the right thing, making sure I'm giving them the right tools to become responsible adults, to grow up and understand that they are making a difference in their lives and people around them, and not to be selfish, but take care of themselves at the same time. There's a lot of things I worried about. I remember making sure Christmas was perfect. I worried about that. I worried, the anxiety was so bad I wouldn't go to bed until the house was put together. The pillows straightened, the fringes on the rug all okay. The dishes all put away. There's just certain things, and I slowly am learning to not worry about things that I don't need to worry about. If the pillow is not in the same order or direction as the others, the world's not going to end. I had to learn that. Anxiety is a situation is a situation where it comes in different forms. I enjoy being with people. I enjoy helping people. I enjoy going to functions. I enjoy being public speaking. I enjoy listening to others. But believe me, where the fear comes in for me is, are they going to really find out who I am? Are they going to like the individual who I am? Because I don't want to be the topic. I want to listen to them so they know they're being heard. And it is so rewarding for me when they say, I don't know why, but I can open up with you. And it's like, I did my job. I did what I was called on to do. And that's my job, is to listen. But there's times where I wish it was done for me. And that's where the depression comes in. But that's my situation that I'm fighting within. And that would be different vlogs too. And I think that's the 5-letter word, hush word. That there'll be a vlog on that. So anxiety, I'm going to, what I dealt with, what triggered my anxiety, how I'm dealing with it. It's really been tough day to day. It being April 19th, 2018, I am still dealing with it. I'm still dealing with depression. It's tough. It's tough trying to wake up every day and getting out of that bed and trying to stand and feeling the pain and not wanting to sit down, because I know if I sit down and get back up, it's going to take longer to do that. I stress. I'm stressing right now. I'm catching myself. I'm stressing now if I have to go let the dogs out because I'm going to hurt and I don't want to hurt. Is that anxiety? Yeah, that's a form of anxiety. What brought that on? The accident. The ways to deal with it? I'm trying right now. I am really, really trying. And I've noticed since the accident and all the medications the doctor have given me and taken me off and developed fatty liver disease and the weight fluctuating because of the different medication. And of course, I'm only getting younger. My hormones are changing. There's more anxiety. I'm getting older. That's a huge one. What I'm trying to get at in this vlog is that I want you to recognize where your triggers are. Everyone has some form of anxiety. Everybody. You cannot tell me that no one has anxiety. Everybody does. And hopefully what I learn or what I have learned from others will help you. Or you can help someone who had maybe made a comment or put a comment down, and you can do that. I'm not an expert. I'm far from being an expert. I'm learning every single day. And believe me, I don't want to be an expert because that would be a boring job. Boring. Because if we're not learning every day, our brain just shuts down. Anxiety can cripple you emotionally, physically, verbally. I don't know what you deal with, but I know since the accident, I have a hard time leaving my home. And where that anxiety is, am I going to get hit again? I'm worried about that. That's just not fair. I can remember that going through my nasty divorce, horrible divorce. I lost the vehicle. I didn't have a vehicle, so I had to ride a bike. I rode a bike for 2 years. And I'm going to tell you something. I was just like biting at the bit and embarrassed because I didn't have a car And I had to walk in rain and snow and sleet and heat and wind and oh my goodness. Getting off work at midnight at Lowe's and walking in an ice storm because I was too proud to ask for a ride home. The anxiety of of that's really that's sad. But looking back on that, I'm happy I did that because it's made me more of a humble individual. Believe me, it really has. Riding the bike, I used to be so angry riding that bike. I used to cuss him out. Look what you did to me. Look at everything you did to me. But I had to stop and realize I'm thankful because it made me a stronger person. But that time, and I'm going to say this, it's going to upset a lot of people. And I'm okay with that because it's happened to me. That time I wasted of being angry, it made me stronger. So I'm thankful for what he did because I'm a better person today because of it. Now, not able to ride a bike. It's full circle. That anxiety has changed. My anxiety is, am I going to get hit if I'm driving? Am I going to be looked different at because I'm putting the blue thing on my window to park and handicap? And they look at me like, there's nothing wrong with you. Man, if I can just give everybody who did that a copy of my MRIs, my blood work, labs, and my medical records, they would say, oh. So before you judge or you label or you assume, remember you have your own fears and your own anxiety, just like that individual, but we don't know what's going on. We can't judge. We came too quick in life to judge others without really looking at ourselves in the mirror, thinking, what can I do differently? I'm guilty of doing that. I spout out. Believe me, I'm very guilty of doing that. I sometimes speak before I think. I'm very guilty of doing that. But a lot of times I do that out of fear, which form of a title under anxiety. So hopefully you understand you're no different. You're okay. You're safe. And I will make future vlogs on anxiety and how I'm dealing with it. Because no cake is going to come out the same, believe it or not. Even though this is an example. Everyone has a box to make a cake. You got the mix. Only thing you have to add is the eggs, the oil, and probably the water. Okay? You have the instructions. And you have 4 sets of different individuals who are making the same thing. They have the same supplies. But I believe every one of those are going to be different. And the reason why every one of those are going to be different is maybe one had stirred more than the other. Maybe one had cooked it longer than the other. One oven could be off than the other. That is a thing that you need to take consideration. Your anxiety is much more different than my anxiety. My fears are much more different than your fears, and that's okay. But these are for you to recognize, what are my triggers? What can I do to help myself get through every day, to get through that, walking down that mall and not feel like I'm just going to go through a complete sweat, or my heart's pounding like out of my chest, or I just want to hide in the bathroom and cry. Or I want to go shopping, but I have to come home within 45 minutes because it's just gotten to me. I'm a little overwhelmed. Know what your triggers are, and hopefully these vlogs that I'm coming out with depression, anxiety, fear, you guys are able to hear what I'm saying, and it might trigger something with you that would be day one of recognizing the situation and grow from that. It's not going to happen overnight. I understand why I had issues with relationships. All my relationships. Every single one of them. I just figured it out, and I'm almost 49. I just figured it out where I have a fear of commitment. I now know why, and I'm very blessed because I really never had a good, solid girlfriend relationship until, I'm going to be sincere, I have with Linda and then with Lisa, but we've never met. But it's just one of those things, you know, we just haven't came into each other's physical lives yet. But with Linda, she's the longest person I've had a relationship with. And it's not because I had put all the work into it, it's because she recognized where my fears were at. She's never told me, but she knows. I had to realize and think, why did I end the relationship with that girl? Or why did I not make that relationship with that person, that gentleman, or that guy work? And everything that flashes always came back was that moment of me being a little girl sitting on the front porch waiting for my father to show up to pick me up because my parents were separated at the time or divorced, and I wanted to spend time with my daddy. He never showed, and I waited for hours on that front porch. And then he went to the bar to get drunk. So I hated alcohol. I hated people lying. I hated that people don't keep their promises. I hate the word hate, but I'm being honest. And I'm thinking, God, why was he so cold-hearted, mean man? And the reason why is because he was facing his anxiety, because he was a fear of that he disappointed his wife, that they're getting through a divorce, that the marriage had ended, and he didn't want to see the sadness in his daughter's eyes. So I'm not mad at him. I had to grow up and realize, Jay, this is where your anxiety had started, from a feeling accepted and not let down. So 40 years later, and I wasn't able to tell him, I forgive you. But now I understand why. So I want you to think about, why do I do the things I do? What is my trigger? Don't have someone tell you what it was. I can remember this person telling me, well, you can never keep a friendship. I'm thinking, how dare you? I'm always being told how well I'm a good listener. But I took it offensive because that individual was right. And I didn't know what I was doing wrong. That was truthful anxiety of being accepted. I had to come to terms with who I was. I am unique. I'm not going to, how do I put it? I am who I am, and if you can't accept me for who I am, that's okay. It's okay. So me, Jonna, I'm fighting a lot of things. And I hope some of the things I said today might trigger some things for you. I don't want negative. I want you guys to think, why do I do what I do? And is it a behavior that I need to change? Am I happy with myself for who I am and what I do? Being judgmental is a horrible thing. But there's a reason why we're judgmental. Is a situation that you had experienced, or a situation where you have been told, or is a situation that you are afraid to find out yourself what the truth is. Fear is unbelievable. It's the horrible nightmare monster that everyone has every single day. Believe me. That'll be a vlog, fears. You would not believe what my fears are. You'd be surprised. I'm just like you. So, today's topic is anxiety. I deal with it every single day, just like you. Everyone has different stages, different levels. Some people are they can't leave their house. Some people use ways as in alcohol or drugs or pills or food to deal with their anxiety. And we need to find out what our triggers are so we are able to control the negative of that, because it's harming us physically. So I am very thankful for that. If you stayed through this whole vlog, I hope something of this came out of it, might have helped you. Come back and visit Glamma J. And when I tell you that I love you, I do. This is me. I'm unique. And leave a comment, subscribe, share. Someone might be needing it. I do have a group page on Facebook called Jay's Angel Wings, and it does deal with different topics. A lot of it is dealing with men and women who have been abused or going through an abusive situation or a trauma situation, and it's called Jay's Angel Wings. I do have the link below if you need to get some information, some resources, and please empower yourself, educate, read, and leave a comment, please. We love you. You have a beautiful day. Be good to yourself. Be good to others, because we have no idea what journey they are on. Love you. Love Glamma J.